Okay, what'd you say?
Yeah. So first it was so basically it wasn't Iran that pulled out of the agreement. It was. I'd rather you hear it from his own mouth. I'll play it really quick
No, tell
in the
me.
background. Yeah, so it wasn't Iran that's the aggressor that pulled out of the agreement. It was Trump, and Trump basically threw that agreement away when he came into office, and now they just using this as an excuse. And even this time around, when they just said yes, yes, yes to everything, and even now for the very first time ever with their negotiations, they actually agreed to go have their like supposedly facilities and everything um, inspected by the U.S. government. They even
Mm.
agree with that. That was the first time that ever happened, and still fucking Trump did it because of neocons. Lindsey Graham, we call him Lady Graham because that motherfucker's gay as fuck. He gets off of freaking people dying. This motherfucker's a psycho.
Who?
And
Who? Lindsey
Lindsey
Graham?
Graham
Lindsey
from
Graham,
North
okay.
Carolina, I don't know if it's South Carolina, North Carolina, whatever. He doesn't represent his constituents. Or he goes to Israel every 3 weeks, literally. Actually, every 2 weeks, literally.
Lindsey Graham
And
is a
he's
yeah.
a
He's
warmongering piece of shit.
it looks like they killed one of the supreme leaders. They say they killed him. Is dead.
Yeah, it's different.
Ayatollah.
No, there's different mixed stories. Yeah, there's mixed stories with that. They
There's a lot
say
of
that they
disinformation
did, and
going
then
on.
Iran didn't confirm it. That's why I'm texting my sister, but I don't want her to be feeding me the news. Like she has enough to worry about her safety, so I don't want to stress her out with that. I'm sure when this is over, she can tell me what really happened. But I don't want to stress her out, like being in the midst of it. I mean, thank
Um,
God she's not obviously in those places, but like what the fuck. So, anyways, when he pointed that out, that it was the U.S. government that pulled out of that, and even when Trump he came into office, he ripped that whole freaking agreement down,
when they had the
and then
when they were building the nuclear plants or whatever,
yeah,
and they were supposed
when you
to.
get a chance, I'm gonna send you. Well, I'm gonna send you. It's like all facts. I don't know
Okay,
if you know
so
who Nick Fuentes. I don't know if you know who Nick Fuentes is, but he's like a pro at geopolitics, and he breaks everything down from like the 60s, 70s, like literally all within 20 minutes. And it's no stress, no nothing. It's just informative. It's just history. I know you love history. You can just play it and just watch it and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. So he breaks everything down like on a whole thing. It's very informative. It's nothing stressful, so you can be stressed. I don't want you to be stressed. So
um
it's nothing, no opinion. It's just this. This is what's happening. This is how it started, and this is where we are now. That's it. Very. I'll send you the link. It's on Instagram, and you can just play it whenever you can. It's very
yeah.
informative. You can just. I know you love history, so you can just be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because maybe you missed a thing or two. Just like I missed a couple. I'm like, oh, I remember that now. I listened to it on the way here. And he's just talking about. He even gives you a visual of the map. That's what he's saying. Like, let me go to see a map.
So
So I can see.
Iran has no
Mm-hmm.
central bank. It has its own central bank, and it has very low debt. It always seems like they go
Mm-hmm.
into these countries that have no debt. They're not in debt, and then they put them in debt, and they have no central bank. They get
That's exactly what Nick Francis gets into. He talked about that too. But they did it with the Somalia, and he called it civil war. Now they're divided.
it's
Broke it down to like little different countries and everything to make them weaker,
it's
to
like they're trying to put a
destabilize them.
central bank in all these countries, and then they get all these countries in debt, and then they own the land, and then they own the assets. But Iran is huge.
And then they install their central bank in there, and then they control their money. But what do you think what they did with this guy? What's his name?
Who?
The one they took out of Africa?
Oh,
The freaking Hillary
Gaddafi.
Clinton, that bitch. Because
Gaddafi.
yeah, he was no innocent. I'm not saying he was a good guy, but he was doing things for his citizens. he was building like a whole water thing and everything. He was giving like people
Wow.
who have family. He was giving them an incentive. I guess like you'll pick up that too. I posted that a long time ago on my Instagram. So this one I just sent it to you so you have it.
Oh, you know
Whenever
what
you want to
too?
watch it.
Iran has a lot of gold.
Long.
Hold on 1 second, hon. Iran has a lot of gold. They have a lot of gold.
They have a lot of
Gold.
natural resources.
Yes.
What do they call it? Natural.
Yes, they have a lot of natural resources. Let me look up how many natural resources. Let me look up how many they are.
Yeah, they have the gas. That's a big one. They have the gas. They have gas. You know they always after the fucking gas.
I want a list of all the natural resources because then, basically, yeah, natural gas, second or third largest reserves globally after Russia, U.S. holding. It's the second or third largest.
There you go.
Petroleum, oil, it's the top 5 to 10 global producer, 10% of proven reserves. Coal, uranium, copper, zinc.
Copper, that's the best. That's a biggie.
Yep, copper is really big right now. Silver is really big. Copper is really big. So it looks like that the G7, Rothschild, Rockefeller banks is trying to make a move on their hard assets because something's going on with their system, with their credit system. But yeah, well.
And mind you, Trump knew going into this that this is gonna collapse our fucking dollar.
Yeah, but Trump
is gonna make the barrel go up like triple of the oil. So the barrel is gonna shoot up the world.
It might make the oil stay like cheaper because then it would be a little bit cheaper, and he needs cheaper oil because interest rates are going up and we have high inflation. So they need to offset the inflation with cheaper oil because we have high inflation. And Q2 of this year coming up, we're gonna have higher prices. So he needs to offset that with cheaper oil or whatever. But oil right now is pretty cheap. Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, not after this shit that's going on. Well, let's see how it is next week.
No, I think that it would be cheaper because then, I don't know. It's gonna be, I don't know. This is gonna be weird because Russia gonna have to step in, because Russia's the ally, and Trump, his whole base voted. A majority of his base voted for him because he said he was gonna get us out of these wars. The founding fathers of the United States.
He's doing the opposite.
Yeah, but the founding fathers. Yeah, go for it. I was gonna say the founding fathers of the United States didn't want us to be in these wars. They said we shouldn't be in any of these wars. What were you saying, hon?
What was it that I think it was George Washington. I think it was George Washington address. Be careful of foreign.
Yes.
What did he say? Be careful of foreign. What did he say in his letter? It's addressed to the nation.
I don't remember exactly,
but he talks about be careful of foreign entanglements because they will drive you something like that into something else and basically take care of your resources. Like he said some shit like that.
Iran.
Be wary or something of foreign entanglement, stuff like that. Something along those lines. That's what he was talking about.
Hold on, I got a question.
Entanglement. What?
Hold on, I got an interesting question about Iran in terms of, Google says no, Iran is not part of the United Arab Emirates. So
they're part of BRICS, I think.
They're part of
not the Emirates, but I think it's BRICS.
No, so Saudi Arabia, I think, is under the control of Israel. I think so, because what's the Prince Mohammed bin Salman? Do they control him? Does the CIA and the Mossad control him? Because how come they don't step up and try to help Iran? I don't know of any instance, or I've never heard of any instances.
So I know that, but what I did hear was that Russia, they had their boats, their ships, not their boats, ships, like in the perimeters. They already sent them supposedly for like training or whatever purposes, but they shift they put it there closer so that if they need to stop in, they're there right.
Wow. Well then, yeah. So that's another proxy war with
This
Russia. We don't want to go to war with Russia. It looked like, man, this is crazy. Yeah, we're in World War III right
George
now.
Washington. Yeah, I know, huh? Hold on, let me see. George Washington address to on foreign. I really want to find you this one over here because I think you're gonna like this one. Um, foreign, um, foreign entanglements. Here you go. Oh, here we go. I think I found the quote. Hold on. It's a farewell address. That's the one. All right, hold on. You see, I was right. Maybe freaking emotionally disturbed right now.
I think we're all a little bit emotionally disturbed. We're all a little bit
Right
disturbed.
here. Additional notes. Okay, hold on. It says this is the quote and this is some notes. But the whole address is like long, so this is like kind of like a little thing snippet. It is our true policy to steer clear of permanent alliance with any portion of the foreign world. That's his quote, George Washington. Then here it says editorial notes. Washington's of domination to Americans to avoid foreign entanglements stems from his own personal experience. He knew firsthand how costly world wars could be and wanted the young nation to maintain a goal of neutrality with all foreign governments as much as possible. Washington continued his commentary by noting, so far, quote, so far, I mean, as we are now at liberty to do it, for let not be understood as capable of patronizing infidelity to existing entanglements, end quote. Washington still intended for the United States to honor all existing international treaties. This is 1776.
Wow.
And look where we are now. I knew it had to do with entanglement, something along those lines. But I think it's like something you can read. But it's all written like it's like a paper or something. And he talked about this. He talked about this very. I mean, a lot of people say he wasn't the first president. A lot of people bullshit a lot of things. But whatever the case is, this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
And our founding fathers, they put a lot of time to, to create our constitution and everything else. And mind you, they were young. They were younger than us. And these people, they got that shit right, and they're just interfering with our. This government it's just so money hungry, power hungry. Look where we are.
Well, just looking at the map of United States military bases, we have a lot of military bases in these other countries. We don't have any military bases like in Iran though.
It's surrounding it.
It's surrounding it. I mean, I figure where all the military bases are is probably where the central banks are, and they're somehow controlling it. But we don't have them in Russia. We don't have them in China, obviously. We look like we don't have them.
They know better. They know fucking better.
We don't have them in India. We don't have them in India. We don't have them in Iran. It looks like Iran.
They're not Donald Trump. They have their own bank. They're not fucking. They know what's up. They know.
It looks like
Get the fuck out of here.
It looks like Iran is a strategic, piece on the board, on the chessboard. It's a strategic piece on the chessboard. Because essentially we'll be going to war with Russia and China and India.
It gets so deep, on. I don't know if you thought, but I don't want to shut you out with it. It's a lot.
No, we can have a clear, cool-headed conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I think that what really scares me is that we're headed to the next 9/11, basically. Like, the next 9/11 is somewhere around the corner. Now, I don't know if it's this year. I don't know if it's the next year. I don't know if it's in 5 years. I don't know, but we're headed to...
false flag. Yeah, I see it happening.
And I think that...
I don't know.
I think what's happening, I think my whole perspective on this of what's happening, what we've been talking about, is that, hold on one second.
Everybody's worried like, oh, we can't really take down Israel because the Samsung option, blah blah blah. All this fucking bullshit. I'm just like.
But I think that you know, like we're talking about, like 9/11 sort of event coming to America.
And they do this now, especially when the FC files are coming out, because guess what? When they release the FC files, I don't know if you know this, there's a whole freaking like 3-year gap from like 2000, from like 1989 to like 2001, and those are the times. And there was some stuff of it. Gaffney Maxwell asked, "Oh, where's the real pilot in those files? Where's the real pilot?" We know Israel was involved. We fucking know that was a freaking false flag from those motherfuckers. So we already know.
Well,
we already fucking know.
It looks like Mexico is.
It was an inside job.
I'm sorry. It looks like Mexico's falling apart. It looked like Europe is falling apart, and now they're going for Iran. It looks like Dubai is in the crossfires.
Venezuela, when we kidnapped their president.
Yep. It looks like Greenland is strategically being taken over. It's looked like they're. Oof.
It's a mess. They want to go off front. Okay,
I think
pandemic's over now. Let's go with the next plan.
I think the reason why is because the United States has run out of money. They need the money. Our bonds, our banks are insolvent. Our stock.
They want to reset the whole system. Yeah, that's a good point. They want to reset the whole system.
They can't.
That's what I said.
They can't keep doing their credit scams. They're scheming. You know, the banks, the Federal Reserve banks, the Rothschild, Rockefeller Bank. They're trying to acquire all the hard assets, and they basically want to take over the whole world. They want all of this to be unipolar world with all one central bank, all one bank, but Russia, China, and maybe India and these other countries, Iran, is standing in the way.
Yeah. I mean, they're not gonna fuck with Russia. That's for sure.
Well, I'm hearing that Russia has some weaknesses myself. You know, that's what I'm hearing from, you know, my sources saying that Russia has some weaknesses. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but Russia, they've been trying to overthrow. They've been trying to overthrow.
Maybe that's when they started the Ukraine stuff, because they wanted them to use up their ammunition. But Russia has the biggest military. Just like we have a big military, Russia does too.
Yes, Russia has a military. Russia has, you know, but Russia has its own issues with. Russia has its own issues with its military, and it is drawing down a lot of its reserves because it's in these proxy wars. So it's sort of like United States. Well, I wouldn't say United States. I would say NATO. I would say NATO and all these other paramilitary groups, you know, are trying to draw down the reserves of Russia, but they've been trying to overthrow Russia for the last 2,000 years. They can't overthrow Russia. They overthrow Russia, they control the whole entire world.
Well, you know what happened? I don't know if you know this. Can you believe that Russia, like Putin, he deported the last bit of Rothschild from the country?
Their name keeps
Russia deported the Rothschilds from the fucking Rothschild.
Rothschild keep coming up. Rothschild's name keep coming up. You know they hold all the gold. The Rothschild owns all the gold from the G7 nation and from the Bank of International Settlements. They hold a lot of gold. I think a lot of our gold, the United States, Fort Knox, has been privatized to Rothschild and BlackRock and maybe a few other, you know, big banks or whatever. That, you know, we have Fort Knox. A lot of our gold is being held by the Rothschilds. I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because we
pretty much have everything.
Because where's our gold at? Where the fuck's our gold? Anyway, so I guess we're gonna have to just be on standby for now because the United States right now is under high alert. You know, we're gonna have all the Mexican shit coming up into the United States. First of all, how the fuck we gonna have all of these fentanyl ports in the United States? Basically, it's like mad fucking, you know, drug. You know how all the drugs come up from Mexico, but they have different points of contact in the United States. All over the United States, they have these distributors for the fentanyl for the drugs. How the government doesn't stop that? Because the government is in on it. The government is in on it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the government.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying
It is the government. It's the CIA. You already know that.
Right. It's the Mossad. It's them. It's those people. It's the Rothschild, Rockefeller.
It's the intelligence. It's the so-called intelligence agency. They're the biggest criminals. Why do you think they took out JFK? Because he wanted to get them out. Because he knew he saw this shit a long time ago. Why do you think they took out JFK?
Yeah, but the thing is that that means the judges is in on the fentanyl with the drug cartels in Mexico. The cops is in on it. The cops is in on it. The banks is in on it because where they put all the money.
Everybody in on it.
But let me finish this, hon. The government, not everybody in the government is corrupt. But you have some people in the government that is corrupt. You have some people that is fighting for our rights in the government. So not all the government is corrupt. It's people, it's bad people within the government that's allowing for this to happen because they can easily go into these countries and bomb them to fucking the Stone Age. They can go into these countries and bomb them to the Stone Age. So they allow for the fentanyl and for the drugs to be entered into this into the United States because it's involved with the stock market. It's connected into the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Trump, and how could Donald Trump? Well, I guess Donald Trump was trying to stop it because we do hear about him stopping the child trafficking. We do hear about him stopping.
Yeah. Okay. So where the
What happened?
the arrests? Where are all the arrests from the Epstein files? Yeah, he's in on it. I'm sorry. I voted for him.
Yeah.
I rooted for him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's looking like Donald Trump is involved.
What files?
But I think, hun, that eventually it's gonna come to light that he's scamming everybody and he lost a lot of money, and this is why. And he got a control file. He has a control file. The Mossad has a control file. Israel has a control file on Donald Trump with 2 young girls. It's 2 young girls. Now, how they got that, I don't know. How they got it, I have no idea. If they drugged him, they incriminated him, I'm not sure. But it was when he was younger, though. He was much younger. Allegedly, there's these pictures flying out there with him. Allegedly, that might come to the surface.
Allegedly, you know that they're after releasing some of the FC files, like I guess 3 million files, obviously like over 37,000 times, and guess what? The DOJ actually deleted all of his they wiped out all of his name, all of his shit from there. After they released it, after Trump signed it into law, and he hasn't said shit about it. They deleted all of it. They wiped out Trump's name. You can type in, go into the DOJ website right now. Go into the website.
The DOJ is involved in it. The DOJ is involved in it.
I know they. I know they are.
That's what they. But it's somebody within the government that's trying to alert people to what's on. They try to put people to the game. It's factions within the government that release that information. Congress is in on it too. If you ask me, I think Congress is deep in this too, and we should be looking at these Congress people for allowing this to happen and for them to override the Constitution.
One on March 7th, one on the 15th. There's going to be a lot of protests.
You know what? More stuff is gonna come up about what's really going down, and it's gonna incriminate. Donald Trump got some bad news coming up for Donald Trump. The Clintons gonna get away with it. The Clintons somehow gonna get away with it because I don't know how or why, but the Clintons is involved in some scam shit. But they gave him a soft serve. They gave him a soft serve. They gave all the people that's involved, allegedly, like a soft serve. Like it's basically like the government know what's up, and they're not gonna rat them out or whatever. But they're just like giving them like a slap on the wrist, like just don't do that again. The Clintons somehow gonna get away, but the Clintons got their own dirt. And everybody knows they got mad dead bodies around them. There's like 50 dead people around them, and all the fucking drugs they were smuggling. They're involved in the scams too, and they're losing money too. But if they attack the United States, I believe that it's factions within the government that's doing it. It's factions within the government that's doing it. There's something going on with it would be our own government that's basically like attacking the United States, It's like attack from within because they sold us out.
Well, you see what's going on with the news, right? With the pilots that got arrested yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So the pilots.
Mm-hmm.
The pilots. There was some military pilots that were just like, no, we're not doing this because everybody knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a lot of Americans and people. Well, I think the military.
They got arrested. They were like, oh, so they got arrested because they're not going with their this war and do this shit for no reason because everybody sees what the hell is going on and they got arrested. Mind you, Hillary Clinton, that bitch is a fucking murderer. Everybody knows she has about the body count and everything else.
Yeah, selling government secrets, selling government secrets to these people, to these foreigners. So she's sedition and treason, and well, eventually they're gonna have to indict. They're gonna have to question everybody in Congress that knew about it. I think not everybody in Congress is involved, but you have a majority of people. They're all insider trading. That's why Pambani said, "Oh, the Dow was 50,000 because they're all insider trading." But the insider trading is according to the child trafficking and the fentanyl and the drugs they put in the country. The stock market would go down if they didn't sell the drugs. Somehow the CIA controlling the stock market and the BlackRock.
CIA brought the drugs here. Back in the 80s, 70s.
But that's sedition and treason. That's sedition and treason. Basically, moving forward, they need to cease and desist for committing crimes against the United States and crimes against humanity. A major conspiracy that's been going on since
this. Conspiracy because everybody sees it, they're just hiding it, they're not getting prosecuted.
Well,
there's so much evidence out there.
Right, because they're able to print money out of thin air. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so why the fuck are they taxing us? They just want to make us weaker. So we can't provide, and we gotta supposedly rely on them.
Yeah, they
got money. They just print it.
But right along with the
guy from the U.S. Treasury, even he said, yeah, it's just digital currency. Yeah, we can just put in any number.
It's all a scam. The digital currency is a scam. The money we have now is a scam. They're counterfeiting. They're allowed to counterfeit. And everybody's asking, where the fuck is the money in Fort Knox? Like, what the fuck? Like, these people, we know it's corruption, but it's about to come to a head because all those scams is being exposed. And this is like something biblical, like something in the Bible. This is very biblical, and it's aligning with biblical prophecy. And, well, we're not going to get too deep into that, but it's definitely aligning with biblical prophecy. And they're gonna try to kill off a lot of people because they want to control the whole world. They want to control the whole entire.
They're already doing it right now as you speak.
But they're not. They're not gonna do it because God is in control, and they won't be able. They're gonna take out a lot of people. A lot of people are gonna end up dying in this war.
Yeah.
But hopefully, God's chosen people. Hopefully, God will step in. Because God is in control, but Satan right now is running things from Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
The fallen ones, the fallen angel somehow is controlling it through Switzerland. Epstein was a demon. Epstein was somehow he was a demon. But I don't think they're gonna be successful. They're not gonna be successful. They won't be successful. They're not going to be successful. They're going to try, but they're not going to be successful.
Okay.
That Evelyn de Rothschild, Bill Gates, they're not going to be able to sleep. They're not going to be able to sleep. Donald Trump, when this all comes out about what he's really doing and all the scams he's involved in, they're going to arrest him.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so hopefully we don't get to that point, but yeah, we coming up on the next 9/11. We coming up on something like a blackout, some major event, so they can crash the stock market. They can take all the money from the 401ks, IRAs. They can, because they need to bail out because the banks is insolvent. The whole central banks are insolvent. They can't keep doing the,
They're already doing that with the 401k. I posted something about that yesterday.
They
They're
can't-
even happening for it.
they can't keep running their counterfeit scams. People finding out about them. They can't keep scamming everybody. They can't continue to pay the military. All the military, they have to pay the military. So they need to acquire all this land and all the minerals and resources from the land in order to continue.
Yeah.
Bill Gates won't be able to sleep.
Motherfucker needs to go to freaking hell.
Les Wexner, they giving him a soft like a soft serve. They're giving him just like a slap on the wrist, basically. Anyways, hon.
Let me see what else is going on over here. Let me see the update. It's a lot, hon. I don't want you to be shut down.
Oh no, it's fine.
War. What the hell is this? The team leader. So, okay. Let's see if there's any updates if he's really dead or not.
Yeah, it seems like Israel is trying to attack them. This is Israel. This is the Mossad.
They want to put this other guy in.
Yahoo Finance is saying that oil price is going to jump, but why would oil price jump? If the United States, Israel, and the Mossad have control of the oil fields, it makes oil cheaper. It says U.S. strikes in Iran could see oil prices jump 10 to 20 or more with no de-escalation, Trump says. Look like they killed one of the leaders. Oh, well, they're trying to say that it was a nuclear program that they was trying to destroy over there. But they've been said that since Baby Bush and Papa Bush, weapons of mass destruction. They still using the same bullshit. The conflict that poses serious risk to the oil. Yeah, this has to do with the oil. Oil right now is oil's always a hot commodity, but oil right now is a serious good investment.
That's all. They want to replace the Iranian government with a
Central bank.
Zionist regime.
Yeah.
Zionist regime. That's what they want.
And then they control all the resources. They control all the assets, all the minerals, all the gold, and they can use that as the collateral for the new system, because they're gonna try to get us into the new CBDC, digital stable coin system, but that's all a scam. They're not going to be able to keep that. Sorry, go for it.
No, that's what they want, the digital ID. I didn't change my ID to a no digital ID. I have a passport and a regular ID. That's all I need. They want to control you. They want to put it they already started that in China. By points. Like if you comply and everything else, if you don't comply, they freeze your account. You can't travel to a certain place, 15-minute cities. I mean, they've been planning this for a long time.
They're not going to be able to do it because too many people are waking up, and pretty soon people are not going to go to work because the dollar is becoming worthless. That's you understand. Here, our money's becoming worthless. We can see the inflation happening. That means that their credit system is ending. Like they can't do the counterfeit money anymore. Prices is going up too high. People starting to notice. That's why this is why they're doing all this crazy shit, going to these other countries, because the credit system is falling apart. The banks are becoming insolvent. We're hearing about that the banks is illiquid. There's a serious sell-off in the stock market. There's been a serious sell-off in the stock market. Although the major stocks are still holding up strong because we got drug money and we got child trafficking and money laundering going into the stock market.
Getting very very ugly out there.
So we need to be asking where they're gonna attack next, what's gonna happen next, and what's going on with Iran.
I don't know. We gotta go on X because a lot of people who are like really experts that know about this. They're on there. They want to put in like I think the guy's name is Shah or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
His father was like he was once princess, king or something, and now his son is there. But he's been in the United States for 40 years. He doesn't even know what's going on there. But the Zionists want to install him there, so they can show him. He already went to kiss the wall.
Scary.
His name is Shah or something like that.
They're not gonna attack United States just yet. It might be. We don't know. They're not gonna attack it just right now, but we are gonna have some weird shit happening because we got a blood moon coming up very soon. We got the blood moon coming up, and we in a Mercury retrograde right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win, but they're gonna do a lot of damage before they before all these people is put on trial and everything. Evelyn de Rothschild.
Everybody's talking about we're fighting Epstein's class. So instead of all these bankers going down for the Epstein files, it's all billionaires and people who control a lot of shit. They're like, oh, this is perfect timing to do WW3.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of shit.
Ignore the arrest. Prince Andrew went down. Supposedly he's out on bail. You know? So this everybody's talking stuff about the Epstein after the release. Everybody's finding a lot of stuff. Independent journalists. We're not relying. We know the news ratings on the mainstream media. They're plummeting. It's been plummeting for a long time after people are seeing the truth that it's all fake. It's just the boomers that are still brainwashed, watching CNN and Fox News. But our generation and the generation after us. Generation debate. What are they? The Generation Z, the ones in their 20s now, they're way ahead of the game. They're not brainwashed because they didn't grow up.
No, they're rebelling right. They're right now. They're about to.
They see what's going on.
They're in rebellion. They're in rebellion right now. They're rebelling against the whole system. That's why the education system is collapsing. The kids is about to rebel big time.
Oh, I'm homeschooling my babies. I'm fucking around. Everybody's calling this the Epstein class. They're calling this Operation something furry, and then people are changing it to Operation Epstein furry. Yeah, it's a whole cover-up. So they don't have to take responsibility and really address this. Why now?
I think Epstein is.
All the time. Now they want to do it.
I think Epstein is still alive.
Everybody's calling for these pedophiles to get arrested and get hung and everything else. Everybody's talking about a wood chipper the whole night. Now they want this.
Hold on one second. Yeah, because you have New York City police that's involved in it because they knew about it. You got LA police involved in it. You have mad police officers involved, high-ranking police officers that's involved in it that you don't hear about because they knew about it too. The FBI, CIA, it's somehow connected into the stock market. That's why they allow for the child trafficking because they can make. Well, I've heard some people say they make up to $60,000 or $20,000 to $60,000 per child, but they make more than that. They make up to $600K per child. Some children, like the blonde, blue hair eyed children, they make way more off of. They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money off of them. Somehow Hillary is connected into that too.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into the sex trafficking thing. It's so disturbing. I couldn't even get to some of these files. I can't believe these reptiles even exist. That's not human.
Well, they have something.
It's so disturbing.
They have something that's going on deep within the government that was brought out through the Epstein files, that basically, they had these women, and the woman just, gave them babies, and they sold the babies. They were selling babies from this
Yeah,
woman.
I know, but forgive me, I've been following it very closely. I just haven't really dug in it myself. It's just so disturbing to watch, to read.
But they make so much money off of it, and then they put it in the stock market.
Yeah, it's just about the money, like you said.
They put it in the stock market. They put it into Nvidia. They put it into the major large indices, to the Dow, to the S&P 500. I think that's why the S&P 500 is so, big right now. It's so dominating. But like Mexico just got hit, so it might be something where the stock market crashes, because the stock market is somewhat reliant on this drug money to flow into it. But if the stock market crashes, then all hell breaks loose, basically. All hell breaks loose.
I think we're already there.
Something tells me have faith in God. Have faith. Something tells me to keep the faith. Keep our faith, because God is in control, and God is going to somehow right this, and it's really unfortunate. But you know what? We're in perilous times, so God is also telling me that we need to watch our back when we come in and go in. I'm telling you, people, it's gonna get weird. I had a premonition today too that we're gonna have to flee where we are, or what you're gonna do when it's time to leave. You have to leave. Like you're not gonna have no a moment's notice. You're just gonna have to leave. So I think soon as prices get higher, soon as we come into higher prices and we start coming into inflation, that things is gonna get really weird, because people are not gonna go to work.
I think that's what France did. I think France did that. They got everything that they needed, and they didn't go to work for a month, and then they got their government's attention.
But why go to work when the money?
That's what I heard yesterday. I don't know when it started, but it was just recent.
That might be something like happened in the United States, because they don't need us to go to work now. What the United States needs to do now is we need to have our own money. Our money is issued by a private bank. It's a private corporation that issues our money. So the quote you said about the presidents and about how we shouldn't get into these foreign wars, the quote you just said, that also too, we should have never allowed for the central bank to issue our money, to be the issuer of our money. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And these banks to issue our money. That's the fucking problem right there. It's the taxation. It's over taxation.
Well, it was there since 1913 with the Jekyll Island, the whole thing.
Right, but it was only
JP Morgan.
Yeah.
JP Morgan. That's what they put out the Titanic to make it like a love story. Well, mind you, they fucking sunk that ship on purpose, because everybody that was against the Federal Reserve, they were all on that fucking ship. So they wanted to make it into a love story. Hollywood, which the Pentagon has a budget in there too. So
wow,
it was all done intentional. It kept us all distracted. Oh my God, this love story. Oh my God, the iceberg. It was all a distraction. This is one. They made the whole fucking thing, and they brainwashed the world with that fucking movie. 3-hour movie at that.
Yeah, Hollywood is coming down.
Speaking of the Titanic, fucking Leonardo DiCaprio came on those fucking files that he was on a cannibalism diet. He ate 16 pounds.
I don't know if he was involved in eating, but he definitely somehow involved with the adrenochrome. He's involved with the adrenochrome.
Well, he looks like shit now, so I don't know.
They might have a control file on him. That's how he got famous. All the politicians, all the Hollywood people have control files. Somehow, Leonardo DiCaprio is connected to CIA, Mossad, because CIA runs Hollywood. The CIA runs the Hollywood.
The Jews own Hollywood. They're the ones who write everything. They control that. They control the music industry.
I think Kanye West was
They're all fucking Jewish.
Well, Russia.
They even own a lot of the Christmas songs. They took Jesus out of there. They even admitted in the interview, like, we made Christmas better because we wrote all these songs. And everybody knows it, yeah, but you took Jesus out of it.
Yeah, they need to stop spying on everybody too. They're spying on everybody without unlawful spying. They spying on everybody. Verizon, AT&T.
Well, nobody knows. That's why it was an inside job with the 9/11. They inserted the Patriot Act.
Everybody that got a phone is being spied on. They're listening to everything. They're listening to everything. It's not humans listening. It's the AI that's listening. And that's connected
That's why
into.
they're so big on this. They're so big on the on the AI.
Right, because BlackRock, they take all the information. They have the machines that they have the quantum computers that BlackRock have and a couple of other big private banks have, and somehow the information is very valuable. It's very valuable, just as valuable as money itself. The information is very, very valuable. Anybody that has a cell phone is being spied on, and they got the entrainment subliminal. They have the subliminal technology in the phone. So pretty soon we're gonna have to get the cages for the phone because they're doing all kind of weird subliminal programming on the phones with the algorithms.
On TV too. On TV, social media, everything.
First of all, how does the phone know what the fuck I'm thinking? I don't even have to talk about it, and the phone knows my brainwaves. It knows what I'm thinking. It gives me a corresponding ad.
It's because they put out these frequencies. They put these frequencies out. It's about the frequencies too much.
That's also connected to Elon Musk with all the satellites they have.
Microchips in the head.
Microsoft is connected to Microsoft and Plantier. Connected into NVIDIA, connected with Elon Musk because Elon Musk got all the fucking satellites out there.
The whole thing is a freaking mess.
It's like they just want to control more and more and more and take more and more and more and more and more. It's not enough until they have the whole entire planet to what they believe the planet should be. And they doing it unlawfully. It's not like they doing it.
Not just have to say a whole entire planet. These motherfuckers want to block out the sun and everything. You know that with Bill Gates, that motherfucker has a goal to block out the sun, which is what gives life to everything.
Yeah, because they're worried about global warming and about whatever is about to really happen with climate change. Because listen,
they know that's full of shit. They know that's full of shit. They just want to do it so we can all be fucking sick. If you don't have the sun is a healing entity.
Yeah.
But before they put all these people, like they made hospitals the way they are now, people used to heal naturally in the rooftop of hospitals back in the day before these people took over the whole medical industry.
Oh yeah.
People used to heal naturally in the hospital bed, but in the rooftop of the hospital because the sun has healing properties.
Yep.
Motherfuckers want to. What does the sun do? It makes flowers grow. It makes everything grow. It heals you. It gives you vitamin D. These motherfuckers want to just go full-blown Satanism.
Well, it is satanic. It is satanic. It is an element of. It is an element of Satanism involved in this. Absolutely. I mean, it lines up with biblical prophecy. It lines up with just demonic shit. Well, Hillary and Bill Clinton, they definitely, they just like money. They love money. They love money. They love it. They love being rich. They love having power.
It's not just that, but these fake evil fucks, they're doing all of this shit now, but they're not gonna live. All these people in power, look at fucking all these politicians in office. They're fucking 80 years old. They're making all these decisions of mind you, they're not even gonna be around in 10 years. But you know what I'm saying? They're making all these decisions and they're not even going to be around. Where the fuck we have all these freaking people, all these people that are fucking old fucks can't even walk. Like, Congress looks like a freaking nursing home.
Yeah, Donald Trump is coming off like a puppet. he is really starting to come off as a puppet.
He sold his soul.
I mean, we all rallied for him. We all wanted, obviously we want the president to do the best and to go with the Constitution and be for the people.
Hold on a sec. My sister sent me a voice note. Hang on. Let me see what she said.